15 years, Amelia Island has seen great women's tennis, and today's action is just the same. This is quarterfinal action of the Bauchalon Championship from Amelia Island, Florida. And today, the 7th seed Mary Pierce is taking on Gabriela Sabatini. Earlier today, Lindsay Davenport, the 6th seed, took out the number 2 seed Conchita Martinez in a remarkably fine 3-set match. 7-6 in the 3rd set decided things, and that is why, though our feature match today was supposed to be Martina Navratilova against Chanda Rubin, on court right now, Mary Pierce and Gabriela Sabatini are still in the 1st set. Again, Lindsay Davenport with a very big win, one of her most satisfying to date, she says. Clay is not her best service by any stretch of the imagination, and Conchita Martinez one of the very best. Right now on Stadium Court, it's Pierce Sabatini. Time permitting, we will show you the Martina Navratilova Chanda Rubin match. What a great day of tennis. Hi everyone, I'm Mary Carrillo, along with Pam Shriver, and Gabriela Sabatini is now serving at 2-3 and 40-30. Remarkably, Pam, they're on serve. Something you can't always say in women's tennis. Game Sabatini, 3-all in the 1st set. And the fans here are delighted at the aggressive play of Gabriela Sabatini. This has been a terrific match.
Well, it has, and when we looked at the schedule today, Mary, we said that this is probably the best day of women's tennis in about a year.
Absolutely.
All 3 matches in the afternoon session have terrific potential. We've already seen one barn burner. As we look at Gabriela Sabatini's bio, she'll be 24 next month. She's 5'8", 130, born in Buenos Aires, and also has a home in Key Biscayne. But the ticket is worth the price of admission today.
Sabatini ranked number 6 in the world. Mary Pierce is really threatening to make the top 10.
Well, and she stands nearly 6 feet tall, has a very powerful game, born in Montreal, Canada, has spent a lot of time in the United States, but now also resides in Paris and plays Federation Cup for the French team. A very international young lady. In 1993 was a breakthrough year for Mary Pierce. She won a big tournament in Stuttgart, the Porsche tournament, and she has career earnings of almost $800,000. And so far this year, over $100,000. And right now, at number 12 in the world. She's one of 3 teenagers right behind the top 10, looking to break through.
30-15.
So far in this tournament, Mary Pierce, because she's seated in the top 8, had a bye and won 6-4, 7-6 in her 2nd round. And then last night, Asa Carlson gave her a great battle, 3 sets. So she just finished her match last night about 9 at night. Sabatini also had the bye. Pretty routine first match, and yesterday we saw her recover from a pretty bad 1st set and just destroy Amanda Kutzer, who didn't put up much of a fight in the last 2 sets. Sabatini would be feeling pretty confident today, and she certainly kept the good serving up early in this match.
That is out. Game Pierce on serve in this first set. Some great quarterfinal action. Mary Pierce, 4-3.
Forget it. Not. It's not.
Brought to you by Bausch & Lomb. And by Rolex, the watch of achievers the world over. We've been talking about just how good the matchups are on this quarterfinal day. Have a look. Sanchez Vicario plays Sabine Hack. That is a night match tonight. Then Navratilova and Chanda Rubin. And again, we're hoping to show you that match. That should be a beauty as well. On the bottom half, the second seed, Conchita Martinez, who just finished winning the Hilton Head title last weekend, was upended by Lindsay Davenport in a terrific 3-set match. And now let's get back to the other quarterfinal on the bottom part of the draw. Sabatini on serve at 3-4, and she asked for a trainer on that last changeover. Any idea, Pam, of what's wrong with her?
I have not heard that anything's wrong. A lot of times players will just ask the trainer out if they maybe need a couple of anti-inflammatories, if something's a little achy, or maybe they need one of those energy popping pills.
Right, because she didn't refer to any part of her body.
No, and she certainly didn't need the injury timeout.
We have just learned, in fact, Pam, you're absolutely right. She's feeling a bit fatigued, Sabatini, and she has asked for a carbohydrate supplement. 30 love. Smart play, curled it into the short court for a winner. Now 40 love for Sabatini. Pam, what's happened so far in this match?
Well, through 7 games, no one has lost serve yet. The server has really dominated play so far. Pierce serving over 80%, and Sabatini was serving close to 80%. Now she's dipped down to 65%. Winner's pretty even, and unforced error is pretty even.
An easy hole for Sabatini, 4-all.
Talk about Sabatini maybe having a little fatigue, and Mary, last night you had a tough night because your voice today is a little fatigued, but you did a great job last night with the Amelia Island Opera Company, and you should probably be on voice rest today.
I apologize for the sound of my voice.
Moonlighting.
And, I'm trying for that smoky, sultry, sort of Lauren Bacallish thing. Hopefully it'll start sounding better, because the tennis of today is worth a good call, that's for sure.
No 15.
And the server's a little bit in trouble now. It's love 30, and this is why. Not a good approach, but here's the volley. She just puts it back in play, back up the line, and gives Sabatini an easy opening. She could really go either way with this. She chooses to go up the line. She could have gone cross court, and she probably could have hit a topspin lob. Little luck there. If that had not fallen Mary Pierce's way, she would have been facing 3 break points.
That's beautiful. Boy, Pierce has just not been in control of the net in this game at all.
Sabatini did a great job because Pierce did the kick serve that brought Sabatini way out wide, and she played a terrific drop shot. Sort of a low percentage shot, but it worked there. As we look at the head-to-head, Sabatini leads 3-1. Australian Open this year was the last time they met. And the year before that in the Australian Open was their most dramatic match when Pierce had match points. In that match, Sabatini came back and won it 6-love in the third.
Man, that's one way to stave off a break point against your serve.
30-40.
One more break point for the 4th seed. 3-time winner here. A very, very popular player on Amelia Island.
And this is Gabby's 4th break point in the match. Of course, she's 0 for 4 because no one has broken through.
Blood is in the water. Gabriela Sabatini with the break will be serving 5-4 when we return. Stay with us, everyone.
5 games to 4. New balls, please.
Okay, so I tend to put things off. For me,
Gabriela Sabatini, whose serve has been so attackable in recent years, is doing a very fine job of maintaining serve.
Against one of the great returner servers in the game.
Exactly. Probably the best, the most dangerous part of the Mary Pierce arsenal is her return game. Let's see what it looks like here.
Just a half-inch wide. Mary Pierce circles the mark. Gabby still wants to have a closer look. So far in this match, Gabby's done a good job on the first points on her serve as we see the chair umpire. She's been asked by Gabby to get off and look at the mark.
You know, I'm not big on this, Pam. I know that marks are left on the clay and all that kind of stuff, but I just hate that it's an act of Congress to make a call on clay, because players get to do all this stuff.
And on this particular occasion, it almost looks like the line sweeping thing has also caused a little bit of a mark on the outside of the line, and it's not all that clear.
Sylvia Watts agrees with the linesperson and sticks with the call. Love 15.
But the first point of the game is so important, and that's why Gabby wanted to have the umpire have another look.
Wide, 15-0.
And a great defensive lob from Gabby. Mary Pierce took control of that point. And Gabriela Sabatini has one of the best defensive lobs in the game as we see Mrs. Pierce.
Yep, that's Yannick Pierce, and just behind her is Mary Pierce's kid brother, David, who warmed her up this morning. He's got a pretty good game. He's on his heels a little bit. Almost anyone is on their heels trying to get back Mary Pierce's shot.
He looks tired right there.
That will sail.
30-15.
Before that backhand error from Mary Pierce, we saw 2 loopy forehands, and Mary Pierce is showing more variety with her ground strokes. She used to just nail the ball, drill it, but now she will mix it up.
She's much better at creating points than she used to be.
There was only one way to go.
30-15.
She won a lot of matches outright with her power, but in order to climb into the top 10, you really need to have a little bit of versatility and some variety with your shots.
That is out as well, 40-15. You must, credit the time that Mary Pierce has been able to spend in recent months at the Bollettieri Tennis Academy. She's more relaxed there, she says, and she feels she's getting very good practice there. And I feel she's creating some very good patterns and learning how to construct points a lot better. 2 set points now for Sabatini. Yeah, boy, taking a set on an ace. Gabriela Sabatini is not known for her serving prowess.
Well, she started serving better yesterday in the last 2 sets of her match with Kutzer. This time she tosses the ball a little bit to the right. A lot of times Gabby tosses it too far to the left to ever get enough power.
Right.
The key to Sabatini, one of the keys to her serve, is that toss. When she gets confident, she'll throw it in front and to the right. When she's not, it goes behind her and to the left.
15 love.
See Sabatini munching away there. She was asked in the last changeover. She was brought out some kind of a carbohydrate supplement.
We saw that forehand a couple times yesterday in the match with Kutzer where she just opens up too much. She is an open hitter of the forehand. She likes the open stance, but when she comes around too early with the left side, it can get really wild like that last forehand did.
Very nice power from Sabatini, hitting through that ball, penetrating.
And she's starting to work her way into a pretty good form here. I mean, I see she's carried over the confidence of yesterday's match. She played a very good first set here. She started off in a positive way early in this second set.
Sabatini has been saying all along that she felt she was one big win away from getting back her confidence. She is 0 for 32 in tournaments, hasn't won one since the Italian Open nearly 2 years ago.
There you see.
It's been a while.
92 Italian Open. She owned the Italian Open for a number of years, won it 3 times, has not reached a final since 93 German Open. That's April of last year. Still very well respected on the tour. She's a great competitor.
Break point now for Sabatini. Already having secured the first set, what a break it would be if she could find an early break right here, start things off in the second. That's a nice play from Mary Pierce. Penn, that's an example of how much better Mary Pierce is using the court. She used to only drive the ball deep. That time she curled it into the short court, and the angle is really what beat Sabatini back to deuce now.
And Sabatini had to cover a lot of court, and she's taking her time right now. She called for the trainer a couple games ago, not feeling 100%, but certainly playing well. And talking about Sabatini not winning a tournament for 2 years, not even getting to the finals in the last year, but she's still ranked 6th in the world, which means she gets through to a lot of quarterfinals, semifinals. She still knows how to win matches. She just hasn't been able to win the semifinals or finals as we look at Carlos Kilmar, her coach, again since the first of the year.
That is corrected. That out call. It would have been a double fault. Sylvia Watts corrected it. So 2 calls in the last couple of games have gone against Sabatini.
And when a second serve is overruled, you get 2 serves.
Challenge, but Mary Pierce holds for the first game of set 2.
Amelia Island Plantation, home to the bot.
Court at Amelia Island, everyone. And now on this rather protracted changeover, Mary Pierce is being worked on. Her right elbow, it seems, is being loosened up by Jill Gressley of the Women's Tennis Association, one of the trainers. Sabatini had also asked for a little bit of help from the trainer. And speaking of Sabatini, we talk about her great success here on the island. The other day we asked Gabriela just why it is that she likes playing here so much.
No, the tournament is very, very relaxed. It has a very good atmosphere. The crowd is great, and you know, it's very low-key, and I love that. I mean, I feel very comfortable. It's just nice. It's in Florida. I like to play in Florida. So a lot of things that, you know, make it very good.
Yeah, well, her record bears that out.
She's 37-6 here. She was the champion in 89, 91, and 92, beating Groff all 3 of those occasions, and reached the final in 5 of 9 of appearances here. Played here for the first time in 1985.
So this isn't a bad place to try to make a comeback. Sabatini has played 10 straight Bausch and Lombs. You can see that Mary Pierce is still being worked on. It seems as though they're trying to stretch out her elbow, now her shoulder perhaps. It would be a pity if this match had to be cut short by injury.
She's played a lot of tennis the last couple of weeks, had a good tournament last week, defeating Arantxa Sanchez Vicario in the quarterfinals of Hilton Head before losing to Natalia Zvereva in the semifinals. And clearly Jill Gressley, WTA Tour trainer, is trying to work out the elbow. It's a little bit chilly here today, a bit of a wind.
It really is.
And let's face it, Mary Pierce pounds the ball. So that arm does take a bit of punishment.
You know, I honestly think, Pam, on her forehand especially, Mary Pierce, she relies on sort of a very loose arm and then a really snappy shot, you know, at contact. Anyway, we will be back. Hopefully this match will continue, and we'll come back after this commercial. Stay with us, everyone.
It's where you find
only on ESPN.
Welcome back. Sabatini to serve. Second game of the second set. We've gotten a report from the WTA trainers that Pierce was experiencing some tricep tightness. So it was worked on a little bit, and she seems to be swinging away again.
And for those who aren't quite familiar with the tricep muscle, that's the one underneath the arm, the one that lots of times you get annoyed because it seems so flabby. But that's not the case with Mary Pierce. It's not flab that's hurting her, it's just a bit of tightness from these big shots of hers.
Very clever shot. Pinning Sabatini deep and then going for the short one.
And what Mary Pierce does so well here is she gets her racket face so below the ball. It's coming up this next one. Look how low the racket face gets, and that helps her create that angle in the whip of the racket face.
Nicely played from Sabatini at love 30, decides to come to the net from where she's been so successful.
Here she is stretching out wide. Sabatini using the big serve. Comes into net. She likes to hit that backhand volley up the line. The defensive lob that set that point up for Sabatini. Also, Mary Pierce is looking into a bit of a sun up that far end. When you're on the run, you go for height and depth, but height is most important, give you time to get back. And Mary just floats it back and gives Sabatini the opening on the forehand.
So from love 30, now 30 all.
It was a good first serve from Sabatini. It jammed Mary Pierce, and she has these long limbs, and that's a very good serve to hit to somebody who likes to really hit the big swings and crank it up. Keep them in tight, away from their power zone.
Third double fault of this match.
I'll read it. All right.
That's just terrific stuff from Pierce. Had Sabatini on the run right off her own serve.
It's a very well produced backhand, has great shoulder turn, gets down low to the ball. Look at that racket face, stays very firm throughout. It's a very consistent shot. There's not a whole lot that can go wrong with that two-handed backhand.
This is the first break point Pierce has had against the Sabatini serve. And there it is.
And that bad bounce gives Mary Pierce the early break in the second set. In the first set, which Sabatini won 6-4 with one service break. The big thing there, 16 unforced errors from Mary Pierce, 10 of which were off the forehand side. Sabatini only had half as many unforced errors. And 89% of the time Sabatini came to net, she won the point.
She's been up a couple of times since then. 12 of 13 points she's played at the net, she's won.
And yesterday in the final 2 sets against Kutzer, she had a very high percentage of points won from the net. Obviously, when you win 0-1, you're winning from all over the court. But when Sabatini played her best tennis was when she came to net, and she was always successful. Little anger at the court there. Sometimes when players go into their slide and they have to slide through a line, they can lose their balance a bit.
This court was really wet down quite a bit. There was so much wind that they're losing a lot of the top dressing on this stadium court today. So after the Davenport-Martinez match, they really doused this thing. Sometimes you get some funny bounces off of that. It's a beautifully tended court, though.
Carlos Kiermaier, once again Sabatini's coach. Of course, started coaching her several months before Gabby won her only Grand Slam title, the 1990 U.S. Open. Got her to come to net, and there we see the sirens from an ambulance, the lights from an ambulance that evidently is carting somebody off who fell from the stands, we've heard. Not a good drop shot. Sabatini with the backhand approach. It's a bit short in the court, and Mary Pierce loves this two-hander. Slides into it beautifully, good balance, and look, she's coming back ready to play just in case Sabatini stretches wide and makes the volley.
Pam, I always thought that even when Gabriela Sabatini was playing into the net an awful lot, she was coming in on the kitchen sink. She didn't always come in on good stuff at all, and yet she was willing to defend the net.
Most of the times when she beat Steffi Graf, it was because she hit that backhand approach shot so well to the backhand side. There's that forehand, which sometimes her left side comes around too early. Look at this backhand. She goes up the line with it, a grip way around, unlike anyone else on the tour. Produces more topspin off the backhand than anyone out here. Those are the errors that still occasionally come off Pierce's racket, and that was a game point to take a 3-love lead, consolidate the break of serve. Those can be very costly.
Ooh, boy. Lost her way on that one. Hit that one late. Well, wasn't thinking clearly, and now a chance for Sabatini to get herself back on serve.
As we see Yannick Pierce, Mary's mom. Mary, after making 2 bad mistakes, she's doing a good thing now. She went over, she toweled off as we see the unforced errors. It's a nightmare for a dyslexic, 21 and 12. Pierce almost twice as many.
So she gave herself a chance to recover, you mean, her poise.
Exactly.
Break point. There it is. Sabatini breaks Pierce. and gets herself back on serve in this second set.
Pierce leads.
Final at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you get the deuce on ESPN2, will be on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday at 3 p.m. live from Amelia Island, Florida. Mary Krill along with Pam Shriver. Gabriela Sabatini had some more carbo loading on that last changeover.
And a shot of those trees just shows you how windy it is. Mary Pierce started to have her big wins last year and having career wins already over Sanchez Vicario last week at Hilton Head, Navratilova at the Virginia Slims Championships, and Sabatini as well.
Yeah, she had never had a top 10 win. And on her 20th try at the Slims Championships last November, she had 2 of them. This player being one of them.
She really wowed the crowd at Madison Square Garden at the Virginia Slims Championships in November. She showed great personality and charisma and had the crowd feeling a part of the match. It shows how uncomfortable Mary Pierce is when she gets in close to the net. She set that up beautifully with the angle backhand cross court coming up right here. Again, that's one of her favorite shots. Opens up the court, but look how she fouls this one up. Racket face was too open. That just comes from not being comfortable, not spending enough time up at net. That's now 7 straight points that Mary Pierce has lost, and lost a lot of them badly.
Yep.
Started with that game point where she sailed it 7 points ago.
Oh, man. Second ace for Sabatini, an easy hold. Pam, Carlos Kiermaier must be so happy. You know, he's been trying to convince me of late that Sabatini is a changed player, and I haven't seen it, but I must say today, he's starting to make me a believer. She's playing gutsier tennis.
Something happened yesterday. I mean, the last 2 sets, although her opponent didn't put up enough.
Real sloppy stuff now. Yeah, Kutzer didn't put up much of a fight after the 2 sets yesterday, but again, Carlos Kiermaier was very proud of the way Sabatini battled after dropping the first set.
That's right. She's always a great competitor. As we see the record before Carlos started in 1990, springtime, with Carlos during that one of those titles was the U.S. Open. After Carlos, no titles, 43 and 16, and no so far with him. But Gabby is really deep in this slump. It's going to take a little while to work herself out of it. And the right time to play it as well. Mary Pierce pushed Gabriela Sabatini behind the baseline, wide to the forehand side, and then look at that slice drop shot. And it was a quick take back. Gabby wouldn't have been able to pick that, even if she had no chance. Great backspin.
Boy, is she on a roll or what?
Well, besides the drop shot winner 2 points ago, it's been all Gabriela Sabatini in the last 11 points. She's won 10 of them. Now, if Mary is going to get out of this She's got to take her time and be more thoughtful. It's important to take your time not only between points and to make sure when you are ready to play every point, you've cleared your head, you've gotten rid of what's just happened, and you're ready to be positive. But also during the points, especially on clay, you've got to work it. You've got to be patient. Right now, she's not doing that.
And you also feel, especially on a clay court, Pam, that the longer a point goes between Sabatini and Pierce, the better shot Sabatini's got of winning it. Pierce wants to win the quick points. Still break point.
Gabby took a big chance there, tried to run around the second serve, but Mary Pierce has a very good high-kicking second serve. Carlos Kiermaier is happy with the aggressiveness of the attempt, but it was a very tough second serve.
A little bit of bad luck from Pierce because that Sabatini backhand clipped the service line. She got herself a bad bounce, and this is a bad time for bad luck. Another break point opportunity for Sabatini. She's already broken twice.
And most of these points that Sabatini's won in this stretch have been off unforced errors from Pierce, and it's a good idea just to get the ball back in play at stages like this. Well, Mary Pierce going for a little walk after that overhead. She walked towards the net, and now she's taking her time coming back.
Making good use of the 25 seconds afforded between points. Sometimes younger players don't do that, don't try to control the pace of the match to their liking. You play Sabatini and you can get pretty tired. She makes you hit a couple of winners a point. That sails long.
Mary's done a good job the last 3 or 4 points to get herself back collected. It's always a very mature sign that if you can go through a bad run and then collect yourself fairly soon.
Sabatini said of her efforts against Kutzer yesterday, I maintained my mind maintenance. That's good. I guess I wasn't doing enough of that when I played. There was a lot of maintenance involved in maintaining my mind.
You had other attributes, Mary.
Oh, no. A big miss. Her second double.
Now, if she was treated for a tricep tightness in her right arm, and if your tricep is sore and you've pulled it, the shot that hurts the most is the serve.
You would know, Pam. Talk about my injuries. I mean, you've had more ice bags attached to your body than anyone I've ever met, collectively.
But they don't keep that stat, thankfully.
It's deuce.
Advantage Sabatini.
And the third mock forehand sails wide. That's what you were talking about, Mary, how Sabatini scrambles well. She's a natural, hanging back 8 or 10 feet past the baseline and chasing down the bullets.
Third break point in this game. Yeah.
The approach shot from Sabatini, which will be coming up off this angled backhand from Mary Pierce, is placed well, but not with a lot of pace. And that enables Mary Pierce to have the time to whip the racket head around and hit that cross court. Fights off a break point and with a shot.
Oh, that took a funny little hop. Swing and a miss, and Pierce with the ad.
And once again, watch her left shoulder. Look how open it is. It's closed here, it's closed, opens up, and then the ball takes a little bit of a funny hop, but she's already pulling up her racket face very quick. Now, when you swing and miss, you have to look at the court. That's a given. Otherwise,
yeah,
you really look stupid.
So now, did you like the way that point was played by? I have a feeling Pierce is understandably a little tight, and she just wanted a quick point there. She wanted it to be over. Tried to go for a very difficult shot on a big point.
And she only missed by a ½ inch. I mean, it did rest on top of the neck cord, but not a good shot selection. By far the longest game of the match and one of the longer points of the match. This is the shot that sets it up for Sabatini. Look how quickly she did get into position. She had to come from way over in the forehand side. It's one thing about the overhead. You got to get your footwork right. She's psyched about it. It's the fourth break point of this game. Sabatini was down 2-love. She wins this. She would have broken Pierce twice in a row.
She did it. 3 straight games from Gabriela Sabatini. She's already taken the first set. She'll be serving at 3-2 when we come back.
Sabatini leads 3-2.
Hi, I'm Johnny Benson.
Their way into the semis as well. Here's the kind of cash you can stash if you're still around on the weekend. The champion gets $80,000. Quarterfinal round, which is what we're watching today, $8,000. And twice that much for the winner of this match.
Matter of fact, you pretty much double things all the way through until you get to that runner-up position, and the winner gets quite a bit more than the runner-up, much more than double. It's a 56 draw here. Top 8 seeds have a bye through to the second round. The reason why there's a lot of 56 draws, especially outdoors, is because there's enough courts to support almost a 64 draw, but we like to give the top players one less match. It's kind of a compromise. You give more players the opportunity to compete in big tournaments, but the top players don't have to play more.
Not in tight enough, didn't do enough with the volley, and she paid the price. A nice little run from Mary Pierce.
And a smile from Mary, and the reason why she's smiling is just the reason you said, Mary. It was the forehand volley, which is coming up here. She doesn't move in quick enough. She hesitates. She should be inside the service line, and she doesn't spank it. Even though she was farther back, she still could have hit that harder. Gives Mary Pierce the time to hit the backhand pass.
Wild one.
Well, that second serve is begging to be creamed. And Mary did cream it. But it comes with an awful lot of spin, and it bounces up high, not with a lot of pace. These big hitters tend to like pace, but certainly Mary Pierce is not going to lay off that one. She's going to give it a ride.
Could have been love 40 for Pierce, because that, as you say, that was a sitter serve. A little better with that one.
Well, it's always a little easier when you step around and you hit it back into the back cross court. You have a lot more court to work with. Now watch this swing. This is going to be a pretty big swing. Just crushes it. Sabatini's going to feel a little pressure now as she faces 2 break points. She's going to want to get her first serve in.
And there it is, busted. You know, another example of a Sabatini forehand miss, where she opens up so much that she just ends up arming the ball. She's already spent her hips and her shoulders. Those are big errors, man.
And this set is taking on a whole different look. The first set, there was only 1 service break. We've already had 4 out of the 6 games in the second set.
Number 15.
As we see, the forehand winners 9 and almost double the unforced errors. And that's 2 or 3 horrendous backhand drop shot attempts. And especially at 3-all in a set, you want to make every point count. That's 2 unforced errors now. It's given Sabatini love 30. We've seen a lot of errors from the Sabatini high forehand in the last couple of days. She usually creates errors from her opponents because she likes to get the ball up high, and she's used to seeing her opponents not like that shot.
Great defense from Sabatini until she finally took control.
This time she hit a high defensive lob that didn't land that deep. Mary Pierce made the right decision to let it bounce. This is after that high lob. Just stabs that backhand volley, and really Sabatini can hit that anywhere. Pierce did guess, which is good. You have to guess. Now right now Mary Pierce decides to move to the backhand side. Sabatini hits the cross court, which is always her favorite shot.
Surprise return from Gabriela Sabatini gives her the break. Up a set now and 4-3 in the second.
Sabatini leads 4 games.
Slalom Championships, Gabriela Sabatini now just 2 games away from the semifinals. Tonight, National Hockey Night. It's the Penguins against the New Jersey Devils. With the regular season winding down, both teams are gearing up for the playoffs. They've both clinched a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference Stanley Cup playoffs. That's tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on ESPN. Back on Stadium Court, the sun has broken through. A terrific day, a bit blustery at times on this Stadium Court, but pretty much ideal conditions.
Well, Sabatini had a break up earlier in this set as she serves her fourth double fault. She led 3-2 in serving. Pierce broke her back.
You may be hearing some of the sounds from the outer courts where some women's doubles is going on. This Stadium Court is just about packed to capacity. Very cozy, intimate setting. You see that beautiful tree right in the middle of the stands. Throws off some funny shadows, but I think it's worth it. It's a good idea to get a power hitter like Mary Pierce out of position and a bit awkward, and that's just what happened there.
I think it's about time Mary Pierce gave up on the drop shot. I don't
think Sabatini's onto that play?
I don't think she's won one yet, as Mary has a good look at her racket there. You've got to remember what's working for you in a match, and if the drop shot hasn't been working, then forget about it, particularly late in the set. Well, Mary's concentration is not where it should be right now. She started the set promising, taking a 2-love lead, and her mind's been all over the place the last few games.
I think we still see that from Mary Pierce, Pam. She can play, like, for instance, last week at Hilton Head, she had a couple of glorious first sets of tennis in the early rounds and then struggled a little bit. I think she still does that. She gets great purple patches of tennis and then can't keep it up. That's a wild one and a very easy hold for Gabriela Sabatini. Gift wrapped in large part by Mary Pierce, and she's now going to be serving at 3-5 to stay into this quarterfinal match.
Gabby's won 5 of the last 6 games. And what Mary has to realize is that as hard as she hits the ball, she doesn't need to hit it with that kind of pace on the line. 4 or 5 feet in oftentimes will be good enough.
Love 15.
Now love 30.
And that's Mary's 21st unforced error off Pierce's racket in this set alone.
Yikes.
Let's see, divided by 4, that's 5 games right there.
And now 3 match points. Not just long, 15-40. One more match point. Pam Shriver has made her way down on court. Sabatini wins this one. We'll be hearing from her. Match point number 3. Oh boy, 3 long balls in a row. Draws it back to deuce. Lindsay Davenport, the number 6 seed, is already into the semis. She awaits the winner of this one. A terrific effort from Davenport, beating the clay court specialist Conchita Martinez. Martinez's very best surface, Davenport's worst, and she was very, very satisfied with today's win. That sails. Match point number 4. A straight sets win for Gabriela Sabatini over the hard-hitting Mary Pierce. A bit of an assist in that second set from Mary Pierce, but Gabriela Sabatini, who has been struggling to find her form and her confidence, has got to be pretty happy with that win. 6-4, 6-3, Coach Carlos Kiermaier looks pretty happy with that one, too. So we'll be back after just a few moments, and when we come back, we'll hear from Gabriela Sabatini. Stay with us, everyone.
There never seems to be enough of it. And the last thing you can afford to do is run out of it. Time. So rest assured, Delta Airlines will help you make the most of it. With over 4,900 flights a day to over 300 cities around the world. And best of all, we'll make sure you arrive relaxed and refreshed with plenty of time to spare. Delta Airlines.
For most people, a true luxury performance sedan always seems a bit out of reach. That's why Infiniti created the G20, so you could drive a world-class car while you're still young enough to enjoy it. Infiniti luxury and performance at a surprisingly affordable price. You only live once. It's time to get started.
Amelia Island Plantation, home to the Bosch & Loam Championships for the past 15 years, can be your home or second home. In harmony with their carefully preserved natural surroundings, luxury residences are but steps away for an active resort lifestyle. Call 800-874-6878 to learn more about the exceptional ownership opportunities at Amelia Island Plantation. Amelia, naturally.
Back at the Bosch & Loam Championships, Gabriela Sabatini, the 4th seed, takes out the 7th seed Mary Pierce in straight sets, and Pam Shriver is on court now to speak with her. Pam?
Thanks, Mary. Gabby, tell us about the win today over Mary Pierce and how you were feeling.
Yeah, it was, I knew it was going to be tough. I guess probably the match from yesterday, made me feel a little bit tired today, or not tired, but weak, a little bit weak. That's why I called the trainer. And, she gave me some tablets that helped a lot. And, I was able to move a little bit better, and I felt stronger. And, I was probably at the beginning thinking about that, and then, I put my mind on the match, and I played a little bit better. I thought she made a lot of errors, especially at the end. I don't know if she was getting a little bit tired. It seemed like it. But, well, I'm happy to, that I won this match.
Now, you were down 2-love in the second set and came back and really dominated for a time in that set. When you get down 2-love, do you look over to Carlos? How does Carlos help you at all during the matches with encouragement?
Well, he gives me a lot of support, mainly. That's all he can really do. And then, I'm there. I'm the one who is doing everything, and, I just need his support, and it helps me a lot. And when I was 2-love, I just thought, well, just keep doing the same thing and don't let her take control of the match.
Tomorrow's semifinal is against someone who hits the ball almost as hard or maybe even harder than Mary Pierce. Have you been watching Lindsay Davenport play at all this week?
Well, yeah, I watched a little bit, her playing on clay, because it's a little bit different. I think it helps me a little bit more, the surface. And I'm feeling very good. I had some good wins, and those matches gave me a lot of confidence, so I'm looking forward to that match.
Because you're going to need all the strength you can tomorrow against Davenport.
Sure, yeah, I will. I'm going to need, to be very strong and, very concentrated and fight.
Well, congratulations on today. Good luck the rest of the way. Mary?
Thanks, Pam. So it was a re-carbohydrated Gabriela Sabatini who was able to fight back. Call me old-fashioned. I think carbohydrates. I think a nice plate of linguine and clams. But what do I know? I'm not into this 90s stuff. Have a look at the top half of the draw. The semis have not yet been decided up there. Top seed Arantxa Sanchez Vicario is yet to play Sabine Hack, who took out Maggie Maleva, the 8th seed in the last round. And Martina Navratilova will be facing Chanda Rubin, the tough young 18-year-old American. The bottom half has already been decided. And Gabriela Sabatini will tomorrow play another hard-hitting player, Lindsay Davenport, who came up with a terrific win earlier today. We'll take a commercial now. When we come back, we will take an offbeat look at Lindsay Davenport. Pam Shriver had a chance to spend some time with her the other day. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't made...
Technology is changing the way we communicate, and Cynthia Rozier is at the forefront. She's technical supervisor for AT&T and a DeVry Group.
Irritation and discomfort. Boston Envision. Ask your eye care professional about it.
For more information, call 1-800-ENVISION.
For most people, a true luxury performance sedan always seems a bit out of reach. That's why Infiniti created the G20, so you could drive a world-class car while you're still young enough to enjoy it. Infiniti luxury and performance at a surprisingly affordable price. You only live once. It's time to get started.
If you demand more from an aftershave than alcohol burn, you gotta try alcohol-free Sensitive. With cooling sensates, it's proof aftershave doesn't have to hurt to work. Take the heat out of aftershave. Demand proof. Try alcohol-free Sensitive from Old Spice.
Leave it to Peerless Faucet to create a shower so smart, it can not only sense when a toilet has been flushed, it can also adjust the water temperature accordingly. Scald Guard technology by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.